In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, Param Karunamoy, Otishoy Devan, Allahor Name Shuru Korilam. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Dear HSC first year students, I am Muhammad Shazidul Islam Bhuiya, lecturer in English of Poradia Wasimuddin Khan Degree College. Today I am going to teach you from your English first paper, and my topic is Kalpana Chawla, and it is in lesson 3, unit 1. At the beginning of the lesson, I would like to tell you that Kalpana Chawla was born in India, then she completed her graduation in engineering, then later on she went to America, she completed her MSc degree in engineering, and also she did her Ph.D. and later on she joined in NASA. NASA means the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Then she started her career as an astronaut. Now let us read the chapter. Kalpana Chawla, she was born on 17 March 1962 and she died on 1st February 2003. Chawla was born in Karnal, India. That is, she was born in India. She completed her earlier schooling at Tagore Bal Niketan Senior Secondary School, Karnal. That is, she completed her secondary study in the school named Tagore Bal Niketan Senior Secondary School, Karnal. She is the first Indian-born woman and the second person in space from this subcontinent. That is, in India, she was actually the first woman, and in the Indian subcontinent, she became the second person who actually went to the space. After graduating in aeronautical engineering from Punjab Engineering College, India, 1982, Chawla moved to United States the same year. That is, she completed her engineering degree from Punjab Engineering College and she went to America in 1982, just after the completion of her graduation. She obtained her master's degree in aerospace engineering from the University of Texas in 1984. Then she actually completed her master's degree in engineering. Later, she did her Ph.D. in aerospace engineering in 1988 from the University of Colorado. That is, she completed her Ph.D. degree from the University of Colorado. Determined to become an astronaut, that is, after the completion of her Ph.D. degree in engineering, she decided to be an astronaut even in the face of the Challenger disaster in 1986 that broke apart 73 seconds into its flight. That is, Challenger is a spacecraft and it was actually destroyed just after it flew in the sky after 73 seconds. That is, within 73 seconds of its flying, it was destroyed, and it's an epoch-making incident, and it took place in 1986, leading to the deaths of its 7 crew members. That is, all the 7 crew members were killed. Chawla joined NASA in 1988. Then, though Challenger was destroyed, Chawla was not dismayed. Rather, she became enthusiastic and she joined in NASA as an astronaut in 1988. She began working as a vice president where she did computational fluid dynamics CFD research on vertical takeoff and landing. That is, after joining the NASA, she continued her research on computational fluid dynamics on vertical takeoff and landing. That is, the spacecraft when actually flying in the sky in vertical or in the particular way, what was the behavior inside the spacecraft of the fluid. It was her research matter. That is, she continued her research inside the fluid inside the spacecraft. In 1991, she got US citizenship and she was lucky enough to receive the citizenship in the USA and started her career as a NASA astronaut in 1994. That is, since 1994, she continued her career as an astronaut in the NASA. She was selected for her first flight in 1996. Then after joining the NASA, she was selected for her first flight in the space in 1996. She spoke the following words while traveling in the weightlessness of space. That is, flying by the spacecraft in the space is actually a different type of experience. So she was actually telling that you are just your intelligence. That is, one has to depend on his or her own intelligence. She had traveled 10.67 million miles, as many as 252 times around the earth. That is, she traveled long distance, and it was 10.67 million miles, and she moved around the earth for about 252 times. Her first mission STS-87, began on 19 November 1997 with 6 other astronauts on the Space Shuttle Columbia. And for the first time, she actually flew in the space inside the Space Shuttle Columbia. That is, the name of her spacecraft was Space Shuttle Columbia, and the name of the mission was STS-87, and she started her mission on 19 November 1997, and she flew into the space along with 6 other astronauts. On her first mission that lasted for 15 days, that is, by going to the space, she stayed there for 15 days, 16 hours, 34 minutes and 4 seconds. She traveled 6.5 million miles. That is, she crossed long distance by remaining inside the Space Shuttle Columbia, and the name of the mission was STS-87. She was responsible for deploying the Spartan satellite, which however malfunctioned, necessitating a spacewalk by Winston Scott and Taco Doi, 2 of her fellow astronauts, to retrieve the satellite. That is, she had the responsibility to deploy the Spartan satellite. Satellite means an artificial body placed in orbit, and she was actually on duty, or she had the responsibility to place the Spartan satellite in the space. But unfortunately, the Spartan satellite malfunctioned. That is, it failed to function properly, but it was a troublesome thing. So she again deployed 2 more astronauts named Winston Scott and Taco Doi. These 2 fellow astronauts actually helped to retrieve the satellite. That is, they rescued the satellite that was actually malfunctioning, that was not functioning well. In 2000, she was elected for her second space mission, STS-107. That is, on 19 November 1997, she started her first space mission. Then after the completion of the mission, she came back, and again she was actually selected for her second mission in 2000, in the year 2000, and the name of the mission was STS-107. This mission was repeatedly delayed due to scheduling conflicts and technical problems. That is, though she was actually selected for the second mission, namely STS-107, but there are a lot of problems in the spacecrafts, or also in the scheduling. There were a lot of technical problems, so she had to delay her mission. On 16 January 2003, Kalpana Chawla finally started a new mission with 6 other space crew on the ill-fated Space Shuttle Columbia. That is, as long as it is written that ill-fated Space Shuttle, we are actually sensing that something dangerous actually waiting for the Space Shuttle along with our Kalpana Chawla. Now let us see what happened. She was one of the mission specialists. That is, when she was actually sent by the mission by Space Shuttle Columbia, then she had some responsibilities. Chawla's responsibilities included microgravity experiment. That is, she was given some duties to perform by going to the space, and she was actually conducting research on microgravity experiments, for which the crew conducted nearly 80 experiments studying Earth and space science, advanced technology development, and astronaut health and safety. That is, by going to the space, she, along with her other astronaut, conducted experiments studying Earth, space science, advanced technology development, and astronaut health and safety. That is, what are the troubles an astronaut face by going to the space, and what would be the solution for the problem regarding health problem. And these were actually the study matter of our Kalpana Chawla. After a 16-day scientific mission in space, that is, she remained in the space for long 16 days. On 1st February 2003, that is, on 1st February 2003, she was actually coming back. Columbia disintegrated over Texas during its re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere. That is, after the completion of a successful mission, when Space Shuttle Columbia was coming back, and when it actually entered into the Earth's atmosphere, then a terrible thing happened. That is, Columbia disintegrated, means it was actually broken into pieces. All the crew in Columbia, included Chawla, died only 16 minutes prior to their scheduled landing. That is, she was actually about to land along with other astronauts, but unfortunately, before 16 minutes of their scheduled time, her spacecrafts were broken into pieces, and really it was dangerous. And of course, all the crew members were also killed. Investigation shows that this fatal accident happened due to a damage in one of Columbia's wings caused by a piece of insulating foam from the external fuel tank peeling off during the launch. That is, at the time of launching, there was an insulating foam between the wing and the engine, or we can say that the fuel tank. But unfortunately, the insulating foam was removed. Then when the spacecraft was actually coming back, then during the intense heat of re-entry, that is, when the spacecraft was coming back to the Earth, then it actually generated terribly hot gases, and it actually penetrated the interior of the wing. That is when intolerable hot gas entered into the left wing of the spacecraft. The left wing of the spacecraft was destroyed, and actually destroying the support structure and causing the rest of the shuttle to break down. That is, when the left wing of the spacecraft was destroyed, then eventually the whole spacecraft was destroyed, and all the astronauts were also killed, and it's an intolerable thing for the people of the whole world. Now, before the completion of the class, I would like to tell you that even though Kalpana Chawla was a girl of Indian subcontinent, due to her study and due to her sincerity, she got chance in NASA and she became the astronaut. But actually, her luck did not favor her sufficiently, and unfortunately, she died as long as the spacecraft was destroyed. And I would like to request you to read the chapter with all your attention, and I do strongly believe that all my students would get all around prosperity in their lives. This is all for today. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.